audible to you now and visible to you?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
So, finally, LLM Delhi, then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everything sorted out?
Yes, sir. Mostly, like, I paid the fees today.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, what have you left? So many options that you have got?
Sir, I got NUJS in the first list and CLAT.
Okay.
But I left that because I live in Delhi only, so Delhi is a better option for me.
Okay. So, in New Delhi finally, and
Yes, sir.
what have you? Specialization?
So, business laws, I'll take, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, Nitya, tell me, I mean, what is your AILET PG paper? What's your reaction? How was it? First
So,
of all,
it was very easy. Like, I didn't expect it to be this easy.
okay.
But and usually they ask a lot of criminal. They didn't ask criminal this time. They focused mostly on international law.
Yeah.
And I didn't prepare specifically for AILET. I was preparing for CLAT. But that only helped me nail it because there are so many recent things that I couldn't have done it without CLAT PG preparation.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's great. But one thing, you have cracked both. I mean, you have cracked this. I mean, CLAT.
Yes, sir, in a way.
Okay. And we had a communication that time. You told me कि आप तो 107 attempt किए थे आप.
Yes.
That was, I mean,
I didn't expect that I'll crack AILET because I studied only for CLAT. I didn't go through the basics again because last year I gave AILET and my rank was like 76 or something, 79. But I didn't get it obviously because general this thing stopped at 45. So I gave it again this year, but I already got the CLAT result till then. So I wasn't really focused on AILET because I thought I already got CLAT. But then I was just ticking. But so I think my accuracy was good this time.
that is the thing. You even after the answer you said case 92 के आसपास आएंगे, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं आएंगे.
I didn't even calculate my attempts. I didn't cross-check the answers when it came.
कोई सुनेगा तो 92 और 107 में बहुत फर्क होते हैं. ठीक है, 15 मार्क्स.
Yes, it was very unexpected. Even when the results came, I thought I won't check because I thought I won't clear it. So I just went through the first page. I went straight on the second page. But then I thought, एक बार check कर ली तो second में नहीं है. So I went up and it was there. I was like, oh, yeah, 19.
चलो, all India rank 90.
Yes.
That's great. So Nitya, you have attempted the AILET PG 2020 also, right?
Yes.
And you have also attempted. What is the difference in both the question paper?
Sir, AILET 2020 was like, it had a lot of criminal in it. It had CRPC also, it had IPC also, the conceptual based questions. Because even in the past year papers, AILET has always focused more on criminal. So even in the last few days, I studied just IPC and CRPC and I didn't go through Consti. I went through Consti a little bit, but other than that, international and all, I didn't focus on that much. Well, luckily, I remembered, Jita, I saw the videos on the portal, a few of them during CLAT. So वो fresh था in my mind, so I could tick those answers.
That's great. Acha, I mean, this year both the exams were a bit easy comparison to the last year.
Yes, sir.
CLAT and AILET both. And CLAT, you would have expected more. Okay.
Yes, sir.
आपके Jurisedge student बहुत expect किए थे.
Yes, sir.
One of the students definitely is you, and you expected a better result in the CLAT, though you got 307. So what was changed? Because you have 2-3 papers. एक 2020 का sample paper है CLAT PG का, एक question paper है 2020 का, and अभी ये 2021 का paper, right? So there are 2-3 things that you have. What is the difference that you can see, Nitya, now?
Sir, last year they focused only on judgments. I think there were like 7 or 8 judgments that they gave last year. So we studied accordingly. At least I focused mostly on the judgments. Even in the portal, in the videos, I didn't go through many basics. I just went through the judgments and I was memorizing those. But they didn't ask judgments this time because last year, if you see, the sample paper also had judgments. The question paper was full of fill in the blanks from judgments. So I studied that way, and conceptually we had cleared out this thing. But they asked basics. They were asking contract. There were like 12 questions on contract, I think, this time. And there was like 0 last time. I could expect a little bit that, yeah, they'll ask from contract. They might ask this or that. But I don't know. But it was very different from the way we had prepared. Like, even when we were doing Maratha in the class, I was pretty sure that Maratha will come. Even after the class, I spent 11 hours reading Maratha and understanding it. And I was like, this is going to come. I have to spend the whole day on it. But it didn't come.
That happened. And आप 2020 aspirants को क्या बोलना चाहोगे regarding that?
2022, I would say you should go through basics and you should go through judgments very well, because I didn't go through basics. And if I would have gone through my basics, I would have definitely scored a lot better, because it was very easy, the paper. It was something that could easily be cracked, even if you didn't do judgments, because you never know with that. They can ask anything. Like last year they asked judgments, this year they asked basics, next year they can ask anything. So both judgments and basics are very important. This is the only thing I've realized, because in the end I was just revising judgments and judgments, even though you told us many times to go through the basics, because CLAT can ask basics, because at least 10-12 questions will come from basics. But I thought, no, judgments. So I went through judgments.
That happens. I mean, at the end of the day, एक चीज तो है कि lot of I had a communication with you after CLAT के देखो judgments तो नहीं आए, देख तो आईलेट में क्या आता है ना, आईलेट में lot of recent judgments were asked.
Yes, that was very surprising, because last year they didn't ask all of these recent things. Only this year I've seen AILET when they've asked so many recent questions.
Maratha था, उसके बाद Lieutenant Nitisha,
yeah.
So all those questions they asked, and
yes, sir.
You never know what would be the question paper, right, at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Even CLAT, I went through a few judgments. The list that was given to us on the portal, I just read brief summaries of most of those. So उसमें वो timber वाला था, वो contract वाला जो judgment था. So I went through that, इसे skim करके. तो but luckily that came in CLAT. But in CLAT they asked only 1 or 2 markers out of like 6, which were on recent judgments. Others was fully basics.
That happens. That is what CLAT is, right?
Yes.
2020 के सैंपल पेपर की तरह क्वेश्चन बना के लेके आ रहे हैं वो लोग, ठीक है? No one can't even touch. No one can't even touch the question.
We could not expect anything like this. Like, I saw the question paper, though it was a good thing that they asked us 6 questions and not 10, because it reduces the stake, no? Like, if there are 10, if there's one para that you don't know, you'll be missing out on 10 questions. It increases your reading time a little bit, but it still puts you in a better position, because there are 6 questions that you can't answer then. Like, I didn't know the company law judgment that they asked, so I missed out on 6. But if it would have been 10, it was
very difficult.
It would have been, yeah.
True. So, Nitya, as you have attempted last year, also this year you are attempting. Okay. Any particular thing why you are going for the reattempt? Is it solely?
Sir, I wanted to crack CLAT for the PSU, but like honestly, this time with the level of preparation that I had done, because I joined coaching only because I wanted to go get into the PSU, and with the level of preparation that I had done, I was pretty sure that I would have cracked CLAT if they would have asked the earlier pattern, the 2020 pattern. But they asked something entirely different, so I think that's just luck then. But I cracked AILET because of it, so that also worked.
You never know. I mean, you never know what they're going to ask, right, at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
And Nitya, the another important thing that I want to ask you, okay, and that there are a lot of things to be studied. आपको भी पता था, आप भी एग्जाम के 10-15 दिन पहले कॉल किए थे.
Yes, sir.
कि सर इतना कुछ पढ़ना है, सर ये करना है, सर ये करूंगा मैं, सर आईपीआर कर लेता हूँ, सर आर्बिट्रेशन देख लूंगा सर, I can remember that thing. ठीक है. So those things will be there, and how you are going to tell and suggest 2022 aspirants कि वो एग्जाम के 2 महीने और 45 days, how to cope up with those 45 days, क्योंकि तब judgments भी पढ़ने होते हैं, basics भी करने होते हैं, revision भी करने होते हैं, mocks भी करने होते हैं, and all those things are there. Okay, how?
Yes, sir. So I would say now CLAT is not something that you can crack with 3 months or 4 months preparation. I myself joined the crash course only because I left my job in March. So I started in March only, March end or April beginning, I started preparing for CLAT. For me, I was still in a better position because of the fact that I had prepared and I had appeared for it the previous year. So I knew basics and I was working also. So I had a few things fresh in my mind. But other than that, I think now CLAT requires at least a year preparation, because 5 years of law school is very different from preparing for an entrance. This is one thing I've realized very well, because I was the kind of person who would get into everything, study every word. I am very particular about these things, and that's why I end up wasting a lot of time. So I would say, at least for people like me, You should study well in advance so that in the end you have plenty of time for recent judgments, because that is something you have to do later only. If 2021 judgments are there, you have to do it in the end, because you don't know, something new might come up. You might suddenly be burdened with something else.
Yeah, true.
So it's the best to clear your basics earlier, keep revising them, and then you can just focus on judgments, and there are 2 or 3 months left of CLAT, or like before that if you have the luxury of time.
Yeah, true. So, Nitya, as you have adapted both CLAT and IELTS, though you have, CLAT is your major focus. What do you suggest to the student? They're going for any particular exam or बाकी exam में भी जा सकते हैं लोग, ऐसा आप क्या suggest करोगे उन लोगों को 2022?
So, see, for CLAT also you need basics. This year we have realized you need everything. You need to be prepared from all angles if you really want to crack it. You need to know judgments, you need to know recent events, you need to know bills passed, you need to know basics, you need to know everything. So if you prepare your basics, you can easily crack other exams also. Like in Jurisedge also, they've taught everything. They've taught CRPC really well, IPC, evidence, all subjects are covered, especially constitution is covered so much in depth that even if you don't revise it later on, just the way the judgments are done, you can remember things. And even if you don't remember, logically you can deduce. So yeah, I would say if you're prepared well for one, you can very well appear for all the others also. Like I didn't prepare for AILET. I've already told you. I was preparing only for CLAT. And I didn't even think that I wasn't focused on AILET. I didn't think I wanted to crack it. I wasn't determined. But just because I was prepared for CLAT well enough, I could crack AILET. So it's the same thing with other exams also. You just need to prepare well your basics. And because CLAT is the only one which asks judgments, other than that, too, it's only basics, no?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But at the end of the day, another very important thing कि आप कोई भी एक एग्जाम के लिए you have to prepare very well, right?
Yes, sir.
So that के उस एग्जाम में आपका होगा नहीं होगा, that's a totally different thing. But at least that the preparation that you are going to have for that exam, that will not go in waste, right?
Yes, sir. That is something we've realized with AILET, no? Like they didn't ask anything at CLAT, but they asked सारे CLAT वाले questions in AILET. So balance हो गया. At least like in any case, it wasn't futile our exercise. I've told you, we've had this conversation earlier also. I've told you that if nothing else from this coaching, I have understood a lot of things that I didn't understand before. Like the Maratha judgment, the way you explained it, defection was not something I ever thought I'll be interested in, or I'll develop. I told you, I had developed an interest in constitution as a subject because of this thing. I thought I'll just do an LLM in constitution for sure. My parents are like, you should go for corporate. But yeah, I think overall it prepares you much better. Even if you want to go into LLM, you should know these things. The recent judgments, they keep you updated. They give you an edge over other people. Like after this also, I appeared in a job interview also because I knew things, so I could converse about these things, these judgments. They ask.
One of the student, he was there. Okay, he was there. He prepared for 1 year. Okay, with us, and uske baad he cracked the interview in the month of probably June, June या probably May में, ठीक है? He cracked the trilegal interview. Okay. And he said, मैं बोला आप तो 1 साल preparation किया होगा sir. That preparation helped me to crack the trilegal interview. Okay.
Exactly. Sir.
Whatever they asked, I know. They asked Constitution, they asked CRPC, they asked IPC. I know each and everything, sir.
Exactly.
So it was really big work for me for trilegal. उसके बाद मुझे सोचा आप तो अभी LLM नहीं देने वाले हो, you already cracked the trilegal. True, I am not going for अभी तो नहीं जा रहा हूँ sir, but already because वो that student told me कि sir because of all those things was done so comprehensively in depth.
Yes sir.
मेरे लिए वो interview was a cakewalk. मेरे से कोई भी कुछ भी सवाल पूछ ले, I can do it, no problem.
Exactly sir. They grilled me on CRPC for like half an hour in the interview, but in Jurisedge they taught CRPC so well. I was amazed. Like in college also we had a really good teacher, but it had been like 2-3 years though, so I had forgotten ki kya tha basics वगैरह. So but the way they taught it was so comprehensive and it really helped me a lot in that interview. They were asking me things from the Bare Act, which I knew. I honestly knew, and I never thought I'd have CRPC on my tips.
True. And Nitya, so you were there. How's your experience with us, Nitya?
Sir, it was very good. I didn't expect it, honestly. But I was just, like, I left my job and I thought I'm going to prepare for CLAT. So I joined it. I think I spoke to you for like a few demo sessions also before this. So they also helped. So at that time, I think ma'am was teaching Sabrimala. judgment when I took the demo class. I was amazed. In the first class only, I was telling my friends also, I was like, I'm going to join this coaching. So I joined it, and then though there's a fault on my part, I started preparing even a little later after that. But if I would have gone through the basics, I would have cracked CLAT this time. I don't know this thing and that. But yeah, I think the way you teach is so amazing. Sir, I told you earlier also, it has just opened my mind, especially in Constitution is something that I've developed such an interest in. And the way you taught Maratha and the Supreme Court advocates on record, the NJC judgment and all, I would say it's very good. And especially in such a short duration, it really helped me a lot. Like I couldn't have done it on my own. If like even CLAT I couldn't have cracked, AILET also I couldn't have cracked. So it really helped me a lot.
Okay. And Nitya, another important thing is that you are going to NLU Delhi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So any particular, I mean, you are getting into the academics or uske baad job karna hai aapko basically?
Sir, I'll see. I want to get into academics. That would be my preference. But if I get a good job offer, I am open to that also. I'm not completely decided on that part yet.
Okay. Okay. And any particular thing that you just chose NLU Delhi over NUJS, or any
So
particular suggestions that you want to share with the?
my most the thing that attracted me most was the fact that it's in Delhi. Like because we don't know when colleges will open and all. So even if it opens, it won't be such an issue for me. Because they were saying, no, I think Nalsar and
Answer.
Bangalore,
Yeah.
yeah, they're also opening, no, for September or something. I think offline classes.
मैं अभी दिल्ली घूम के आया. Delhi is absolutely normal, guys.
Yes, sir. Now it's fine. Like earlier, there were a lot of cases, but now there's like 50, 60 cases a day, which is manageable. Schools have also started opening in Delhi. That's why I thought that there's like a 60% possibility.
मुझे लग रहा है दिल्ली भी खुल जाएगा बहुत जल्दी.
Yeah, sir. It's good. I wanted to open, honestly. Like, I don't want to sit at home and complete LLM.
Definitely you are going to go there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And any particular thing that you want to share, Nitya? Any particular thing?
Sir, I would just say prepare well in advance. Like that is the most important thing, and prepare all aspects of your preparation. Don't just focus on one thing. Prepare every single thing, every single subject. In IPR also, I was really tensed in the end, if you remember. So then you told me just go through the MCQs, and even that helped me a lot because it's not possible to study each and every subject. I can't study IPR, I can't study arbitration, everything in depth at that point. So all you can do is just go through the basics. Even the material that you provided in the help books, I went through that also for every subject. So that also helped me a lot. So I would say, like, if you really want to crack it, you should study well in advance. And in the end, I think what matters is smart study, not just how much of hard work you put in. Because I have put in, I told you earlier also, I used to study from the morning till the night. I used to study constantly, non-stop. Tabhi bhi end mein jaake my syllabus didn't get over. So I think that's always going to be there. So you just have to manage your time smartly, and you have to know which subjects can come, which subjects can't come. So you have to focus on the ones that can come.
That's true. That's true. And
Yes.
As this smart study is very important for CLAT. The reason
Yes, sir.
So many subjects, and that's why we as a teacher coming into the better picture, because आप पूरे जजमेंट्स 500-600 पेज का जजमेंट तो हमेशा आप खुद से नहीं पढ़ सकते.
एग्जैक्टली सर, समझ भी नहीं आता ऑनेस्टली मुझे मराठा. लाइक जितना उसमें टेक्निकलिटी है वो ऐसे ऑन द फेस ऑफ इट लगता है कि ठीक है, रिजर्वेशन के ऊपर रिजर्वेशन आता है, बट जैसे आपने समझाया था, आई रियलाइज मुझे काफी चीजें नहीं पता थी उसमें, जो मुझे बिना वो समझे जजमेंट नहीं समझ आती. तो दैट इज, आई थिंक इट्स वेरी हेल्पफुल टू जॉइन कोचिंग फॉर ऑल दीज थिंग्स, because judgment NJAC also खुद पढ़ना is very difficult. It's so long. It's like 1000 pages. Even defection as a concept ऐसे पढ़ने में समझ में नहीं आता. At least मुझे नहीं आता है. तो सब मेरे को वैसे भी सुनने से याद हो जाता है. So that is an added advantage for me, that I can memorize things easily that way. So I just used to, like, since I was crash course batch में, so I didn't have much time in the end. So I would watch all videos into 2 करके. तो वो जल्दी जल्दी बोल के मेरे दिमाग में बैठ जाता था.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so Nitya, all the best for your future.
Thank you, sir.
आप अच्छे से करो LLM, and if you have any problem, do message me.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
And it's all your efforts that has been rewarded.
Yes, sir, and thank you to you as well, because I wouldn't have been able to crack it without joining this coaching.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So thank you, Nitya. See you again.
Thank you, sir. See you.